All right, we're recording. We'll get this class started. Welcome everybody to our class number 2 for Director Bound. Woohoo!
Yay!
Just want to thank you all for being once again, your faithful few here on the call. So before we get started into our class, let's talk about last week, what we went over. Was there one thing that really stood out to you from last week that maybe you implemented or done in your business since last week, that something Miriam taught about booking outside of your party? There's only 2 of you to answer, huh?
I will say that I did reach out to people this week. I was very proud of myself. I did hand out the catalogs.
Oh, good.
Even on the call or the class that we listened to, Make It a Network.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to promise to do to go inside a store, because when I have Michael, there is, like, if it's a drive-through, that was one of the things that caught my eye on that one. I will not go to the drive-through. I will go talk to somebody. Well, you know what?
Right.
I even approached the people in the drive-through.
There you go.
You got to wait for the purpose to talk to them anyway. So, but I was very happy that I did give out my catalogs. So I was very happy. So
That's awesome.
Good, Mima. Did you have your little Post-it notes on it?
Of course.
We heard
Here's
you're up, Sheila.
Here's the big question of the day, because I don't have any here, but I've got Post-it notes, filled out Post-it notes everywhere. So the key is organizing yourself, and what do you do with them once you get them? Okay, I want to hear what you guys are doing once you get them and have them all filled out. Right now I'm sticking them inside my notebook, and I'm sticking them on the outside of my notebook, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be adding these people to my VIP list, and I haven't done that. So what are some tips?
Well, one thing I like to do is go ahead and add them into my contacts and make sure I'm sending my e-newsletter, so I get them signed up for that.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing of a Post-it note is to make sure you have it dated, because you may, and if you've got Post-it notes everywhere, and I'm very guilty of that, then you're not like, okay, so she booked from that host, so I have to go look up that host. Easier if I just have a date on my Post note, and then when you're like compiling your Post-it notes, do the oldest one first, and then move forward, so that you've got rid of those and you've got that taken care of, and then
that's a good tip.
So so make sure every Post-it note has a date on it.
And make sure you write down where you saw them at.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah.
I do write notes on mine, like met at or friend of or something, so it can make a connection for me. That is necessary.
Anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Jenna posted, I don't know if you saw, but she's passed out 8 of her 10, and I'm super proud of her for doing that. So
she's on fire, that little one.
She's on fire for sure.
Is she going to conference?
She is. She's one of our room leaders.
Yay.
Yep.
Right. So good. Awesome. Yeah.
And Mona's been a little busy bee this week too, Miss Mona. You want to share some of
Yeah. What have you been doing?
Well, I handed out 7, but I'll be honest with you, 4 of them I could not get their contact information.
It's okay.
But you guys handed them out. That's great.
Yeah, and but I've got a lot of contacts this week, and I've got catalogs. I have to go back through my notes. I know I've got 4 catalogs going out tomorrow. That's what I was trying to work on tonight. I wanted to do a little sticker on my catalog about, kind of a hook to get them to book a party. So that, and then I did not make it to it's kind of a long story, but I didn't. Friday, I told you I was going to talk to 3 businesses about pampering a business, and that didn't happen. And I don't know these people, so the person who was going to take me kind of bailed on me. However, listening to the um, the two, I listened to 2 calls this week. I listened to Coffee Talk Relocating Your Business, which was right up my alley,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one, Making it a Network. And it was kind of like a light bulb going off, is that I work in a business every day with people that that I want to, I mean, Wani has really inspired me to reach out to the Hispanic community in my restaurant, and that's huge. So this morning I was going to make the tres leches cake, and I thought I knew exactly where my rock crock was, but it wasn't where I thought it was.
Uh-huh.
Regroup, and this morning for breakfast, I made the little breakfast muffins for our recipe, the apple and egg and cheese and bacon recipe for the guests, and I made our scone recipe. And so I took all the leftover scones to Cheddar's. So what I need to do to get these people hooked is start taking food into Cheddar's every day in
Good.
a for chef, and using, and definitely I've made big
What is Cheddar's? What is
It's
Cheddar's?
it's a restaurant.
It's where she works at.
Yeah. And the other thing is just here, I've made great strides this weekend working on getting the kitchen cleaned out to get the non-pampered chef tools out and getting the pampered chef tools in.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, she's staying at a bed and breakfast. A friend of her owns the bed and breakfast, so she's staying there, and so that's great, Mona. You'll have access to people coming through and see you using your Pampered
Right.
Chef. Do some little cooking demos
Right.
there. That'll be great. So.
Yeah, that idea that we had didn't quite work out. Those the ladies from California and Reno were not comfortable here because the neighborhood, it's very urban, it's downtown. They didn't feel safe here.
So you didn't get to do your thing with them.
Actually, you're gonna fuss at me. The catalogs I gave them they took their catalogs with them. However, my contact information was.
Oh, Mona. Well, live and learn. That's all we can say, Mona. Live and learn.
I just grabbed catalogs and I thought I don't need to put stickers on here. They'll be here until Monday.
Well, Mona, thank you for sharing. And speak of the devil here, Wani, we were just Mona just mentioned your name. You had inspired her to reach out to the Hispanic community. So, Wani, how has your week been?
Hi, Wani.
Crazy?
Yes, still crazy. This night is still crazy. I'm like, I just got home right now. I was closing a party, and I was just having a hard time with that host.
Really? Imagine that.
So they were changing, she had an order, and then the husband comes in, and then he said, no, I want this and I want this. So we had to change the whole order again, and I was like, I have a meeting at 9. I'm not gonna make it.
Come on, don't go. Come on.
But finally, I made it home.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's see, what time is it? 9:17. Okay. So our subject for today is booking at parties. So last week, Miriam talked about booking outside of parties. So hopefully you guys are still filling your calendars. Remember, we want at least six parties on the book for the next month. So booking those parties. Now, getting those bookings, now we need to talk about getting bookings at your show. So how many of you here could say confidently that you get 2 bookings from every party? Can anyone say confidently that they get 2 bookings from every party?
Not every
None
party.
of us, probably, right? No, maybe. Well, I'm going to encourage all of us here to make that a goal, is to book 2 parties from every party, because if you do that, your business is going to grow. And there's actually a little chart here. I'm going to share my screen to show you how your business will grow from booking 2 parties from every show. Give me a chance. Whoops. Helps if you share the screen first before you click over. All righty. Okay. Okay. So let's say you just get one booking from every party. So, our goal is to do 6 parties a month. So if you have 6 parties dated, on average, as you ladies know, about 2 cancellations per month will happen. That's just the nature of our business, right? So if you have 6 parties dated, 2 cancel, you actually held 4. If you book 1 party from each of those 4 parties, that means you've got 4 new parties. So month 2, you've got 4 parties dated, 2 more cancellations. Now you're down to 2 parties held. And at those 2 parties, if you get 1 booking from each, then you have 2 parties. And then month 3 happens and you got 2 parties dated and all 2 of them cancel, you're out of business, right? And if you look here on the left, let's say you upped it to 2 parties booked per show. You're going to see if you have 6 parties dated, 2 cancel, you have 4 held, but you get 2 bookings at every party. That means you'll have 8 new parties. So at next month, month 2, you got your 8 parties dated, 2 cancel, you have 6 left, but you get 2 bookings from each party. That's 12 new parties. And then the next month with your 12 parties, 2 cancel, so you hold 10 times 2, 20 new parties booked. So month 4, you would have 20 parties dated, 4 would cancel, so 16 parties held in a month. How many of you would like to have 16 parties booked in a month? That'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Very, very cool. So that's just a little diagram.
So you've gone from 0 parties to 32. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me stop the share.
And do you guys know who the 2 parties should be?
Well, you can always rebook your host for, the next 6 months. You can do that. But we're going to talk about actually how to get those 2 parties. Is that what you meant, Sheila? I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. But to get 2 parties from every show, the first party should always be your host. And something I just learned from Marna Ross, if you're okay with me sharing.
Absolutely, please. Here.
Is you want to rebook every host. So you just tell her, okay, we're closing tonight, Tina. So this is April 29th. So if April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So if we can get you back on the calendar for October 29th, you're going to get the new catalog. So your friends and family are going to get to see the new fall product line. And you're going to get credit for this booking. So you're going to come up as a future party pick at your party. And not only will you get 5 half-price items at your party, because you've rebooked, you now get 6 half-price items for having a $1,000 party on October 29th. So I did not know that the past host would show back up as a future party pick for rebooking her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that was cool. So she'll show up as a future party pick.
Yeah.
So I am now rebooking every single host for 6 months out.
That's awesome. I love that.
And one thing about that is her order does not count toward her guest sales.
Her
You know,
half price, her future
price
party pick. Right.
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 Not add toward her sales. So just to remember that one.
Right.
But
So
it does add up to
that
the
I
rest.
did know. I just didn't know if she rebooked that she would show up as a future party pick and get to take a 6 half price item.
Yeah.
That was pretty. Did you know that, Mima?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay.
I knew
That's
that they
awesome.
got that. So I thought that was, I've always tried to do that. It doesn't always work, but I do try to tell them if they will book that it will help them.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So definitely rebook your host. And the other thing you want to do too in your host coaching is you want to share this goal that you have with your host. Say, you know what, Sheila, my goal is to get 2 bookings from every party. And I'm telling you what, this is a win-win for both of us because first of all, it's going to help me grow my business. But secondly, or you could say, first of all, it's going to help you. Secondly, it's going to help me. But first of all, you're going to get a half price item at each party that's booked. So when your 2 friends have their shows, when you go to their party, you're going to get a half price item of your choice at their show. So it's kind of that host reward that keeps on going for you. And the nice thing is it kind of spreads it out. So if you have some bigger items you want to get at half price, you can order some at your party. And then at those, future parties, you can buy your other bigger items that you'd like to get. And then you'll be helping your friend too with her sales. It'll count towards her sales. So do you think that you'll have some people that probably won't be able to attend your party? And they'll probably say, well, Yeah. Say, well, this is what I'd like you to do. I would like you to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you're not able to attend my party, but gosh, you should think about having your own party. Since you're missing this one, what do you think? And get her to ask everybody that can't attend the party if they want to have their own party. And you could even offer her a little incentive if you wanted to. Say, if you have 2 bookings for me before your show, I will give you, you know, you can just determine what that would be, you know, something little. So that's a great idea. Any of you do that already? Talk to your host and encourage them to get the bookings for you before the show, pre-show bookings? You kind
I
of
do
that?
sometimes.
What do you say, Mima? Do you give them an incentive or you just
I
Was
like
that
to-
Mima or Miriam?
Mima?
both. I like to give an incentive if I can. It's something small usually, and sometimes I even try to get more than 2 because even the ones at the party, and then you want to get more than that. So if she can get you 2 and you can get 2 more at the parties, then you're doubly insuring yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And you could even say something as simple as, you know, if you get 2 bookings before your party, I'll bring the dessert, you know, or I'll bring an appetizer to share. So it could be something simple as bringing some raspberry habanero sauce, cream cheese, and, you know, some crackers. So you could totally offer that too, because they always like to have extra little snackies for their guests anyhow. All right, so employing your host to help you get those 2 bookings. And then you want to really plant those seeds throughout your show for booking. I'm sure y'all have heard that terminology before. There is party outline cards that really give you some great ideas on how to plant those seeds. And those party outline cards, of course, come in our new consultant kit, but you can also access those under training and resources. You can go in and you can access those party outline cards, and those actually have little scripts that you can use during your show. So the first place you want to really start planting your booking seeds is one in telling your story. And I think, you know, just make it short and sweet, and it has it in that outline card, very short and sweet. But I think when you tell your story, they're starting to relate to you. They're starting to get to know you a little bit. And people will book shows not just for free products. They're going to book because they like you and they can relate to you. So it's important that you are relatable. It's important that you connect with your guests. I like to try to make sure I'm set up before guests start arriving so I can be there to mix and mingle and chat, you know, introduce myself, find out their name, and start talking to them. And I don't even talk to them about Pampered Chef. I ask them how they know the host, do they have kids, what do they live close by, you know, just making conversation with people just to kind of connect with them and get to know them a little bit before the party. So highly recommend you do really make a point to connect with your guests before the party even starts. Last night at my party, I connected with a guest who couldn't stay. Chatting, she was interested in cookware. This is, of course, a little bit unusual, but she ended up placing a $900 order before she left out the door before the party started. I know Miriam. She bought cookware and rock crop.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. She didn't want to have her own party?
No, I had asked her. She didn't want to. She said her husband wouldn't want her to have a party, and she's getting this for herself for Mother's Day. I was like, okay, you go, girl.
So wait, what did the sales end up being?
They're at 1,500 right now.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I just connected and chatted with her before the party. And and then we just got to talking about cookware, whatever. And she placed an order and left before we even started the party. And I was like, oh my gosh. And how awesome is that to start a party knowing you have $900 in sales?
Yeah, right?
Seriously.
Oh my God, I hope she doesn't go home and change her mind.
That is too fun.
Oh, matter of fact, I do need to call her and get her card information because she didn't have it with her. Just reminded me. So yeah, and connecting with your guests is really important. You want to connect by telling your story, and you're going to see in the little cards that it's a really simple story, a little bit about you know, why you got started and what you enjoy about your business, something like that. So just pull up those party cards, and if you need help on telling your story. And then you want to start as well in your group hello. So when you welcome everybody, you thank your host for having the party. And typically you should know what it is your host wants if you're doing good host coaching. And you can say, ladies, we're all here tonight because this pan right here, our host Miriam, she has got her eye on this pan, and ladies, she's going to get it for only, you know, $50.
X amount of dollars.
Yeah, or we're going to help her get it for free or whatever. So that's a great way to plant that initial booking seed, letting them know what that host is getting that night, and make that host feel extra special. Pamper that host, make a big deal over her, make her feel special, so other people want to be your host too. You want to really focus on your power tools, ladies. Okay, those higher price items is where you want to spend your time. You need to be spending your time on cookware. You need to be spending your time on rock crocks, the cutlery, all of those power tools in your kitchen, because those are the things that are going to get you your bookings. So if you need to brush up on any product knowledge, it's going to be your power tools. Even, find videos of top sellers talking about it, listen to them, hear their words, learn how to paint pictures, and just getting people really wanting those power tools, because those things that are really expensive, obviously people are going to want to get a good deal on them. So if you can really sell your power tools, you're going to be able to really get those bookings. Another thing that I know Miriam and I both do is we look at the upcoming host special, and depending on what month we need to book, we tailor our recipes to accommodate that item that's going to be on special for a host. So for example, if I'm needing bookings for May, my April's filled, I'm going to be using cookware, and I'm going to be making everybody in the room want cookware, and then I'm going to let them know how they can get it in May as a host for 60% off. So always be thinking about what your recipe is showing, what power tools it's showing, and does it coincide with whatever's coming up on special. Okay, and make sure that you don't start talking about the month. You only talk about the month special that you want to book. So right now you're just talking about May if you need May bookings. You're not going to talk about June, because, well, we know June will take care of itself because it's double free. And the minute you enter that, you're not going to get any May bookings. So always stick to the month that you need to book. There's also another thing that you can do too, and I learned this from Sheila. It's called offering a hook at your party. And a hook is just a little extra incentive on top of what the company is giving. If you've got specific dates you want to fill, like for example, let's say you have, especially if they're earlier dates in the month, sometimes I don't know what it is, but you want to get those filled if they book before the 10th of the month, then I will say, if you ladies, I've got an extra special promotion for anybody that books by the 10th. You see this skillet here? It's 60% off for host. It's normally $210. You could get it for $84. But if you book by the 10th of May, I'm going to give you this skillet for only $70. Or, I'm going to take another $15 off of whatever the price is. Or maybe you want one of these other skillets. Whatever you see there as a price, I'm going to take another $15 off, or $10 off, or $20. It's just totally up to you. And the most I've taken off is $20. And that's usually when it's a really big item, like the double burner grill pan. I would take $20 off, and that would have made it $80 in the past before it was on sale. Now it's on sale, so it's about $80 now. And that will really encourage people to pick those dates that you have available, because they're going to want that special. So we call that a hook. Any questions on that or comments? Do any of you use the booking slide at your party? I know Miriam do. Miriam, do you still use it at the very beginning of your show? Have you continued to do it that way?
Mm-hmm. I use it at the beginning, and I also flip it over and do the recruiting slide too, and kind of get their minds filled with that information before we even get started. So then when I'm dropping my seeds throughout the party, they're like, oh yeah, she said that, or oh yeah, she mentioned this or that or something. So I kind of tie it all in together.
Awesome. I love that. Do y'all know what the booking slide is? It's like a laminated accordion style thing. You just kind of open it up, and it has all the benefits of booking on one side, and then if you flip it over, it has all the benefits of recruiting. Looks like Sheila might be going to get hers. Awesome. Yeah. And you can order it on a spy order. I think it's like $15.
Yep. So this is what they look like. That's
actually the old one, isn't it?
I think it is the old one.
Yeah.
I have them in my little basket that I give out at my shows. At my meetings. So, but yeah. So they're kind of cool. So I think this is, and then there is the recruiting one on the other side, right? Mm-hmm. So it's, recruiting on one side. They're cool. How much are they? 15?
15, I believe.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive though. I mean, it's a great visual.
You just flip it open, And it's visual. They
I always say, people flip out about all of the benefits of paper stuff, and then I flip it out.
Oh, that's cute. I like
People flip out over our opportunity.
that. That is awesome. I like to actually have them near the end after we've kind of sat down and hand out books. We've went over like a few products in the book. I like to have them flip over to the back cover of the catalog, and that's where I actually go over the host rewards with them. And I explain what my average host gets. My show average is $1,000, so I just let them see what my average host is getting, and I talk about the free and discounted products. And so what I'll do too is like, I'll tell them, you know, my average host gets about $215 in free. So I will pick out a couple of my guests right then and there on the spot. I'll say something like, oh, Mima, I said, if I just handed you $215 tonight and I said, Mima, get whatever you want out of that catalog with this $215, what would you get? And then I wait and listen to what they say. And then I might do one or two other people. And then it lets me know what they have their eye on. So then when they come up to order, if they have not ordered those items, I was like, oh my gosh, Mima, I know you really wanted that rock crock. I would love to help you get that for free. I've got this in this state still open in May. Would one of those work for you? You know, so that's a great way for you to find out what your guests are wanting. So that's another place in the party. And then you want to make sure that you do have a confident close. And typically my confident close involves my door price slip. That's the last thing I do. And I just go through that and let them know they have three choices tonight. I'll say you can spend money, you can save money, or you can make money. And I just talk about placing an order. And then I would talk about if they want to save money, that is really one of the best ways to save money is by having their friends over a fun night. And most of my hosts, they save $600 to $700 by hosting a show. And you can just mark it on this little slip here. And, you know, I do live cooking shows like tonight, or I also do catalog shows, virtual parties. We do wedding registries, wedding showers. So if you know anybody getting married, we also do fundraisers. So if you have an organization you're really passionate about, I would love to help you raise funds for them. You can mark that here and I'll chat with you more afterwards. So make sure you let them all know all the different types of parties that we offer in your close. And so I run through that on the door price slip. And then when you're doing your full service checkout is where you're going to cash in, right? all those seeds, you're going to take all them seeds and cash them in. And I usually don't really look at the door price slips, to be totally honest with you. I don't care what they put on them. I'm asking everybody no matter what. And so I just encourage you guys to do the same thing. Just set them aside. That way you're not intimidated to ask because you haven't looked and seen everybody mark. And so there's many times I've dated people that have marked no. And I'll even say, you know, I haven't had time to look at my slips, so I'm just going to ask everybody, you know, whatever. And so you always want to start, of course, with the big fish. So I always do start with the opportunity if there's, you know, if they have any interest at all in that. And if they don't, I would say something like, oh my gosh, you know, you were so much fun tonight. I had a blast cooking with you, and I would love to do this again with you and your friends at your house. I've got a couple of dates in May left open. Would you like to, you know, check them out? And the most important thing when you are talking to people about booking a show, if they want to have a party, ladies, get them on your calendar that night. Don't let them run off and say, oh, I need to check my calendar and get back to you. At all possible, when they say that to me, and a lot of people will like, oh, I just really need to look at my calendar and I'll get back to you. Well, we all know what happens, right? They never get back to you. You don't hook up with them, whatever, they fall through the cracks. So I always say, oh my gosh, Mima, I totally understand you do need to look at your books, but I will tell you, I am so busy and sometimes it's really hard. And I know you're busy too, to kind of connect. So let's do this. Let's tentatively pencil in a date for you. It's not set in stone, but at least you're on my calendar and I can give Miriam credit for your booking tonight. And it's just penciled in. And so what we'll do is once you leave here, I want you to go home and check your calendar. And if for some reason that date doesn't work, then you just give me a shout back and we'll find another date. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. And 9 times out of 10, that date, it works for them. Very rarely do people say, oh, that date doesn't work, I got to change it. But I feel like if they're not willing to put a date on the calendar that night, they really didn't want to have a party to begin with. Honestly,
And that's really true. That's what I found as well. You know, Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes, but that's pretty much the norm.
It really is. And we're busy. Who wants to be chasing people down? I don't got time for that. So
I know.
I try my best to get them on the calendar. And I'll tell them that I'm like, if you don't get your date on the calendar tonight,
We might not get on there.
we might not get on the calendar. And I was I'm booking up fast. I only got a couple of dates left. And then you can tell them that, they don't have to know. Don't
I
show
think
them.
that's good too, Tina, because then we don't sound desperate. We're just like, people don't like desperation. So that way they know, you know what, I run a big business and, I'd love to get you on there, but we've got to like at least pencil it in. So
Right. Exactly.
I love that, Tina.
Yeah. And always carry host packets with you. Be ready. So when they book, you can hand them that host packet. Okay. First of all, it's going to save you money on postage. And secondly, it can get them excited and started, collecting their outside orders. So, I hand them and all I put in the host packet is some books and order forms in the host special. I don't do anything fancy at all. I'm very simple. And then I set them up with a Facebook event. I text them an invitation and all of that. So I try to make it really simple, and I do book a lot in close. I will be honest, I book parties in close. So although my calendar is really booked, and my business is looking a little bit different this year, my May is like completely full and my June is almost full. And that usually is not the case. Usually I book in close. So I have parties and I book more parties for the next week or two. So it's looking a little different, but I'm happy about that as well. That's really cool.
And you're going on vacation, Tina. So you've got a full calendar and on vacation. How cool is that?
Yeah, very excited.
Our rock star earned the Dell over here. And so did Miriam.
All right. I think I have pretty much shared everything that I can think of that I do to book my parties at my shows. Do any of you ladies have questions for me?
I don't think
Yeah.
so. That was
I love
good.
how you host coach and tell them that your goal is to get 2 bookings and that you have a goal to get 2 bookings, because by telling people your goal, you feel more empowered when you get there too, because then you don't feel like you're blindsiding them because you've already had this conversation with them. And we have a saying in Pampered Chef that we host as coach. When you host as coach, that's how you make your money, and you go to the show to pick up your paycheck. So I always love that, because we host coached to get paid, and then we go to the show to pick up the paycheck. So
That is
it
so
really
true.
is, host coaching is really important that way too. So I like that. If I could share one thing too is cancellations. We all have them, right? Or am I the only one that's ever had a cancellation?
Oh gosh.
No, they happen
Okay.
all the time.
So when you get a cancellation, what I am doing is, and I put it on Addis All Stars today, is to have you guys go back to your last 6 parties and call every cancellation that you had and rebook them. Before I joined this call at 7 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock your time, I just called 3 of my cancellations, and I put them on little host cards here. And so and I rebooked 2 of the 3. And the one wanted a summer show, and I'm trying to talk her into doing June because it's a double point month. So she's going to get back to me. But I felt it was quite fun, I have to say. So cancellations we all have them. It's hard, like what Tina said, if you don't get on my calendar, you might not get on there because we run a busy business. And when someone cancels with me, it's really hard for me to get them back on. But I was just challenged by Paula Brockner to call my past cancellations. And you guys, it's working. It's working. To go back to your last 6 shows and find out what cancellations you've had and give them a call. And try to book 1 month, like Tina said, before you do the next. Try to book May.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I try and do is if I have a party and I don't get both of my bookings that night, let's say I don't get any, because that happens, you sometimes walk out of a party and you don't have any bookings. Well, I make it a point within the next 24 to 48 hours to be making some contacts to get 2 parties on my calendars in place of that party I didn't get any bookings at. So that's kind of a little personal challenge that I have for myself to make sure that I'm getting to parties at every show, even though it's not actually happening at the party. So
That'd be a good
smart.
way for you to take your past cancellations too, to
Mhm.
rebook them, because that's a great goal, Miriam. 'Cause
Yeah.
that way you're just always working your business. You're not ever letting it lapse. And that goes back to, with 2 parties booked from every show, how many was it? 32 shows
Yeah.
booked versus 0, right? That's
yeah,
quite a
in
difference.
4 months. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
quite a difference. 0
Yeah,
to 32,
sure.
right?
Right.
One of my things I tell my team was that if they get a cancellation or when they get a cancellation, because they will happen, to go ahead and work that night. Make phone calls. Don't
Yeah.
just sit at home in front of the TV.
Mhm.
That time to go do that party. If you got a cancellation, go ahead and work.
Yeah.
Get on the phone, make some calls or whatever you got to do.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's a
Absolutely
good
agree.
one.
Still kiss your husband and kids goodbye. Go lock yourself in your bedroom. Go to work.
I'm going to work.
Don't bother me.
I like that. I mean, it's true. It's just being very proactive about your business, because you would have been gone anyway, instead of saying, oh, well, no, I can watch that TV show and pop some popcorn. I mean, because that's what we would like to do. But so this gives us the opportunity just to keep working it. And yeah, and I have to tell you, I felt really good getting those 2 shows back on my calendar. I was just like, that was kind of cool. It was actually fun.
Yeah. There's some past cancellations I wouldn't want to get back on my calendar.
And that's
Yeah.
okay.
And that's okay too.
And that's okay. And I didn't call those. But do you guys use these host cards? I mean, I'm like the dinosaur from way back when. I use these. Do
I
you guys-
should. That's
I mean,
don't.
but
What
is-
are they? Can you hold it up to the camera?
Can you see them?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
They've had them for years. I should use them myself. I wished I.
We have had it for years, right? So here's what I do is they're still on paper, and you can get them on, they're in the training resources, but I printed it from the paper and just had it back to back, and then I take it to my Mail and More or Postnet, whatever you guys use, and I have him make me 100 of them, or I think it's 50, and then I cut them in half, and I end up with 100. But they last me a long time for your 100 shows. I also have 50 printed on yellow, and that's my virtual or my catalog party. I know the difference between white is my live shows, yellow is my catalog shows, and green could be maybe your virtuals. But
So what's on them?
so what I love about this is I then paper clip this to every show. When I go off to my show, I have a little paper clip right here on my calendar, and I just click it right there. Everything about her is on it. Like this one has not rebooked yet. I'm hoping to book her May, but I just rebooked this one. So what I put here is, let's see if you can see the information. I have here her show number. She booked from me. Her this is her URL. I mailed her host packet today. Tomorrow it's going out, so I've got the date there. All her information on the back. It has the recipe she wants and then directions to her house. But what it also has here is my first, second, and third call to them.
So where do you keep all these cards?
I have a little box right here.
Of course you do.
A little box right here, okay? And they're A through Z, but here is all my May shows. Here's all my May shows. And they're all on a little card, and I have them stuck in front of my box like this. Okay, so, and you can all see that. So, I mean, this is a lot of years worth of shows, but it's just A through Z. And then, should I be going through all of these? Yes. Am I bad? Yes. But I need to. So, but what is so good? So every show I have today, or if I book a new one, it goes this way. And if I have a yellow one, I know it's a catalog. And if I have a green one of these cards, I know it's a virtual. So then I'll know I have 5 live shows, 2 virtuals, 2 catalogs. And I like what Tina said too. Tina, you want to tell everybody about how every show you set up as an event? You probably talked about that last week, or maybe, or no? I don't know.
No, just I asked my host if she's on Facebook, and most people are. So I always say, I'll go ahead and friend request you tonight. When I get home, I'll find, whatever. Or we friend request each other right there at the party. And then I just let her know I'm going to set up a Facebook event for her party. But I also let her know, don't just rely on the Facebook event. You need to also text, invite people, personally invite people. So then about 5 to 6 days before the party, every day I post something to get people, interested in the party. One day I post about bringing a friend, get a free gift. Another day I post about the main dish recipe we're going to cook. The next day I post about the dessert. The next day I post about the guest special. Another day I might say, yeah, are you unable to attend, but you'd like to order, here's the link. And I always include the show link with every post. So the show link is in there too, that they can click on to order. So I always do that event for them. And I make them co-hosts. So I set it up and make them co-host. Do most of you do that?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. But unfortunately, we can't post. I mean, you can manually post, but
I know that's such a
Tina,
bummer.
Tina, you're
I'm
doing it all
Reminds me, I
manually.
forgot to post. I've been forgetting now to post on my.
I'm not even thinking about it. It's like not even on my radar. So
Yeah, I'm
like,
hoping this will change. They'll get this back, but
I'm honestly thinking about even creating a group for my parties.
I was just going to say, Tina, why would you not do this in a group since you could set it up by SendShare? I know you said a one-day show is an event, but you can still make it a group, right?
I mean,
The only thing about that I would think is you can't see who's going.
right. Well, you can create an event within a group, but I just feel like people
True.
don't see that as much for some reason.
But you can't post, I guess, could you still post to that particular event inside the group
Yeah, I believe we've done it.
or just post to the group?
You used to be able to. I don't know.
I believe so. I think we have when I've done an event within a group, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, like, SendShare won't be able to do that.
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think
I
they
just
can.
need to get in a habit of every day just popping on real quick and posting in all my events. It's not a big deal. I know what I post and it's quick and easy. It's just I have to redevelop the habit because I've been out of the habit because SendShare has been doing it for me.
Yes,
And it might be a while before we get this back. So
I love my virtual assistant, SendShare. She's awesome.
I know. She's really good.
Yeah, but she's having
And
issues.
she only costs me $10 a month.
She's not having issues. Facebook is having issues.
And you guys know why it happened, right? Okay. So so that's because it's a Facebook issue and it's going through such a big channel. I don't know. I don't see it being resolved anytime soon. But I think I'm just going to do my shows in groups and and then just post in there manually, especially if I'm going and doing 8 shows in a month. I'm going to want to have to set them up in groups so I want to go on there live. Are you guys going live on your virtuals? Yeah. Okay.
Trying to. If it's not pre-recorded, it's live.
And
I love Tina's recipe that she's doing. You want to share what recipe you're doing, Tina?
I am doing the one Julie Gizzy demoed for the spring launch. It's the roasted chicken and asparagus with pan sauce. And then I'm making the lightened up smashed red potatoes to go with it. And then I'm also doing a lava cake for dessert. But I haven't been doing station style this month. I've been doing station style shows for years. But all this month I've been doing more of just a teaching type show like Julie did, like that same way with everyone gathered around and just teaching and maybe having them do a little bit here, a little bit there. And I'm finding that I think my guests are really, really liking it. As a matter of fact, my show last night was probably a really good thing because I'm calling the show Mom's Gone Wild. They were just having a party. I mean, we're talking fireball shots.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Wild. Oh my gosh. So it was a good thing they weren't around Sharp Tools. I'm like, y'all just sit around here and I'll do the cooking. You just watch. So, I mean, they even had me put this fireball whiskey in the whipped cream. So.
Oh, was that good?
Actually, wasn't too bad.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm going to have to try that. That sounds yummy.
Just tasted like cinnamon. But anyhow, they loved it. And I'm kind of liking it because, oh my gosh, my show goes a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I know. Tina and I were talking about that today. I've been doing the same thing. It's just the sales are high or higher. And so I'm just calling a few people up and having them help, but yeah,
And
it's
less
working.
dishes. Thank the
And
Lord.
less dishes, right? So
Less dishes. So I don't know.
Sheila,
I haven't
Sheila-
decided what I'm doing next month.
Say that again?
I don't know what I'm doing next month, if I'll keep doing it this way or what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do.
Well, the Rock Crocs are the special in June.
Yeah, but it's double free. So
I know, but you can sell
Always do.
both.
yeah, I always do dessert and rock crocs, so we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Sheila, would you mind sharing your screen and telling us where you got those host cards?
sure, let's do that. Let me,
Put your new computer to the test.
right. Okay.
I'm
I
just
know.
curious because I'm in
No,
training and
no,
resources and I'm not seeing it.
Okay, so let's see here if I've got to go my mouse going here. Tell me if you guys, okay. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Because I've got this big one long screen, and so I don't know if I see what you guys see. Okay, so let me go into training resources, check it out. Let me go into host coaching and see if it's
Oh,
there.
so you go into PCU. Okay.
So I'm going to go into host coaching.
Okay.
That's where I think I'm going to find the form. Host packet material. Let's see. Let's see if that's it.
This breakout session was recorded
Oh,
live
no.
at the Pampered Chefs 20.
Nope, don't want that. So it's that same flyer that I had, but it's going to be on, let's just see where the material is. Virtual party planner.
No, that's not it either.
Okay, but it's going to be, it's going to be in here. Catalog show planner looks like that. Nope. So what is this called? Second. Mama, where
Sorry,
have you?
I didn't mean to put you on the
That's
spot.
okay. No, we should all find it.
You can show it. You can tell us later.
And I think if we can find it, that would be great. Okay, so that's just the.
That's cool. I use that virtual party planner for all my virtuals. I stick it in the folder. It's pretty cool.
Oh, you do?
Uh-huh. You can type all that information up at the top.
Okay, and you put it in her file in the show or her
No,
folder?
I actually put it in her host packet. This is her thanking her for hosting, and it tells her everything she needs to know, like
So
before
you
the
type
party.
all of that in and then you print it and put it in her packet when you mail it?
Yep.
Well, that
Nice.
is cool.
What was that? The virtual party?
It's a
The
virtual
party
planner.
planner under host packet materials. See what all we're learning? No, it's in here somewhere. So let's just
They
see.
have an
What's the-
in-person party one too. That's
Make
cool.
it impactful handout.
No,
Yeah. Mima, where have you seen it before? Do you remember?
I've seen it before too.
I've just had mine for so many years that, I mean,
That's what I think mine came from years ago, but I will look also and see. I was going to talk about it next week since host coaching is next week, but I will.
Oh, that's
continue
good.
to
But
look
no,
too.
definitely do that. That'll be good.
that way, if you did find it, because you know what I find is helpful with that little thing is because new consultants, I mean, I don't know if it's in their kit, probably not, but they're always asking me, well, how do you keep your system down and how do you keep track? And so that little flyer when I pull out for a meeting is really quite important because then I can show them, just like I showed you, how I keep it all straight. Let's see here. Where else would it be if it wasn't in?
I don't know.
I think it's cool for the purpose of being able, and here I am talking something that I was thinking for next week. I'm thinking it's cool because you can take it with you wherever you want to go. This was before we ever had the internet, so you can still be looking at it
Right.
on the phone and calling people at the same time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, I just like it because I'll make little notes on there, like what their favorite product is, or their
Right.
dog's name is, Bozo or whatever. I mean, it's really it's just like when I write down notes from a new consultant, I can write down notes of my host. She's a little interested in Pampered Chef, or she told me absolutely not, don't bring it up. I mean, so it's, I just love those little cards. I love taking notes, and I know that's old school, but it's just kind of always worked for me because then I kind of feel like I'm armed with information. So
That's great. Sheila, you don't have to waste the time now. If you find it later, you can just tell us on the page, but
Yeah.
otherwise, or Mima might know where to find it when she does her coaching next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I mean, it's definitely going to be under host coaching somewhere.
I found it.
Oh, where is it?
Okay, so go under my shows
Okay,
and then show planning materials.
Ah.
I'll go under my shows. All right.
And under show planning materials, and then you'll see under host coaching, it says host information and checklist.
It's my shows and show planning materials. Now where?
This one has more color on it than what the old ones have, so it looks different for the
Host information and checklist, Tina?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
Is
Okay,
it a
so-
half sheet?
No,
It's
it's
a whole
two
sheet, so you can just
So-
print it
Okay,
off.
I really was liking the half sheet size because
I
it's
was too.
small.
But here's what I do. Now, this is obviously more colorful than mine, but it has exactly everything that mine has. So what I do is I print this whole thing. It's and I have my Postnet photocopy back to back on cardstock. And so the more I have printed, the cheaper it is. But so then this isn't paper, this is cardstock.
Right.
And so, and this is pretty, I mean, I'm going to print it right now and see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, I use those, but I'm like you, Miriam. I like the half sheet.
So are the
Maybe
half
Sheila-
sheets look
maybe
like
Sheila,
this?
you can share, do you have that on in your computer that you can share the document?
This here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look and see, because I have a feeling, and again, I'm old school, I have a feeling that I bring these in like this to him
Oh,
and have him just do it back to back because I don't think I can get them anymore.
right.
That didn't fit for some reason.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll go back and look through my old files. Unfortunately, I could probably tell you guest specials from who knows what year. So go back and look, or host specials, either one.
That's
I'll look
fine.
If I can find it, if I can find like a PDF of the small ones.
Yeah, I think the small ones are really nice. But
Yeah, so this has just always worked for me. And, you know, I wish that new consultants had this, but Pampered Chef comes out with such new stuff that I do really feel like a dinosaur when I show them some of this stuff. But they always want to know what I'm doing and what's working, you know, and so it's kind of why I keep doing it. But I know Pampered Chef has some great things out there, but at least we know where to find it. So
Yeah. All right, ladies. Well, it is 10 p.m. and I still need to share the call to action real quick.
okay.
So call to action for this upcoming week. You want to jot this down, and I'll also post this on our page, so you'll have it there as well in case you can't write it down. We want you to practice your booking lines for your group hello. So you need to plan what you want to say for your group hello, how you're going to practice for your power tools, talking about your power tools. If you need to brush up on your power tool selling skills, and your confident close. So I want you to plan that out and practice those. The second assignment is to observe a strong seller's party, if you can. So Miriam and I would be more than happy for any of you to come to our shows. Now I know Mona and Mima, you both live kind of far away, so you can maybe find a director in your area that, or someone in your area that if you want to observe a strong seller's show party, or if you just need to YouTube it. There's a lot of wonderful people on YouTube that have recorded their parties as well. Sharon Zellen, other people. Of course, continue to make your 15 contacts a week outside of the party. And then is also a training audio assignment for the week. And it is called Make It a Full Calendar with Julie Gizzi, Julie Ritter, and Karen Pollock.
I think that's the one I just shared on our page.
Oh, really?
That's the same one that I shared. It's
Awesome.
really good.
Awesome.
Did you watch it, Miriam?
It's just an audio, but yeah, I listened to it a couple weeks ago because somebody had shared that, and I was like, oh, I want to hear that. And so I shared it on my page, my team page, and then I shared it on the Tina and Miriam team page. That's a good one.
Awesome. And I'll post all this on our, I'll post the recording and I'll post our assignment all in the same post.
Cool.
And then next week, you guys you're in for a treat. You get to hear from Miss Mima. She's going to be teaching next week. So what's that face for, Mima?
Sorry, I didn't know you could still see my face. I was looking, trying to find that other thing.
But it's always really great to hear from other leaders. So
Yes.
everyone's so excited to hear from you, Mima, because you'll have different ideas and things.
Very much so.
Thank you. I will be in California. Miriam will be in the middle of a wedding, and Sheila will be over there in California visiting me.
Playing with you. I'll be playing with Tina.
We'll be on the beach somewhere together.
Oh, how fun.
And I need page 37.
Yes, Miriam, can you send her page 37? She needs that for her lesson.
Oh, okay.
It has some more information. She needs the call to action and all of that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't send you that page. I'll send you the third. I'll send you the next page.
Thank you.
And also, Tina, will you still set the call up on Zoom?
Yes, but you know what? I don't know if it'll be able to be recorded.
Well, it gives me the option to record on my screen. So
Oh, wonderful. Perfect.
on my computer, it says record.
Okay, good.
And I
Let's
even
hope.
have a shared desktop and everything. So
Awesome. And then what I just downloaded to my YouTube channel and then post it through that way.
I may have to have you help me do that.
Okay.
but I've never done that one, but I will be more than happy to record it.
Okay, perfect.
I've even
Do
asked
we have anybody on the call today besides Mona? And it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us.
Yeah, we have Wani,
Oh, Wani. Okay, that's right.
Mona, and then me, you, Miriam, and Mima.
Yay. Thanks, Tina. That was great. Great information.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, I'm going to stop recording.